Did you know this show took around 30 years to make? Okay, so The Queen's Gambit. Now, I'm going to try to make this review shorter than it should be because, well, this series isn't new. It released like a year ago, late October last year, I believe. But I just happened to watch it now, and I have some thoughts on it. Yes, I did hear about it on social media and stuff last year, and I knew it starred Anya Taylor-Joy and that she was terrific in it, yet I just wasn't interested in it because I just don't like chess at all. And that's a key thing to note because that's the perspective that I'm coming from. So why did I watch it just now? Because I was bored. That's like the main reason. Regardless, here we are. The Queen's Gambit, consisting of 7 episodes, around 50 minutes to an hour long per episode, give or take. And I actually really enjoy it and highly recommend it. But it isn't perfect, like most things obviously, but with the show consisting of so many episodes, many long episodes, there's more room for error, though I still had a fairly decent time with it. Put simply, this series, show, whatever you want to call it, isn't only about chess, but also life in general, like upbringings, struggles, that sort of thing. And Anya Taylor-Joy is terrific here as Beth Harmon, this orphan chess prodigy who tries to move up the ranks in the chess world in the 1950s to 60s while dealing with addiction, stress, and relationship and emotional troubles. And it's like a process as well. It's shown in a timeline of what occurs. It's like a step-by-step build-up, like we're following her footsteps in a way. For example, we are shown how she started pursuing chess at an orphanage where she grew up, her first time experiencing a lot of things like her body changing, partying, and drinking, and to her traveling around the world managing her daily life. Childhood, teenage years, adulthood, basically. And it's that good that I, at first, without much prior knowledge, thought this show was based off of a true story. It actually isn't. I did some research. It's loosely based off of someone and draws from the 1983 novel of the same name, but there was really never any Beth Harmon. And honestly, I don't know if the events that happen in the series are based from somewhere. Feel free to let me know, but I gotta say, after I found out that it wasn't based on a true story, I was like, damn. I really wish it was, because as soon as I found that out, the show became less interesting, and I found myself, I found there was a lot more to critique on. But look at it this way, this series is good enough to make me believe that it was real to some extent. Because I mean, this show draws on the hardships of life a lot, about being alone, stress, drinking, tragic circumstances, relationships, even sex, and how the first time is almost never pretty. I don't know, I've never, but I did learn that was the case somewhere. The Hodge twins, but anyway, moving on. This show, as deeply intriguing as it is, does feel a bit rushed at certain times. You know, sometimes they would move from one place to another way too quickly, and I didn't have enough time to digest what was happening. And at one point, they were hyping up this one really big chess match, right? And then the next second is just over. We didn't even get to see it. Beth also has a specific illness, like many times we see her play chess in her mind while looking up at the ceiling and taking these pills, but I just didn't learn why. And I swear I was paying attention too. I get how you can't show everything, but I still feel like this show still struggles a bit with the pacing, being very slow at some points and then speeding up very fast at other parts. Like there's this one part where this guy comes into Beth's house after not showing up for many years, I believe, and they study chess together, they make love. She convinces him to stay and move in with her. He moves in, they live together, they study some more chess. then oh, things aren't working, he moves out. That's the end of that. I checked the time, and that whole phase only took 15 minutes or something out of one 50-minute episode. Like, it almost felt like they were gonna live their whole life together or something, and then he just gets up and leaves that quickly. That's just one example. And I have to say, my favorite episodes were probably episodes 1 and 2. 1 had amazing backstory, and 2 was a very interesting introduction. The rest felt more rushed the more I watched, and related to chess a lot more. The chess parts probably don't make too much sense if you are unfamiliar with it. I imagine myself in a similar situation to Beth's mother in this one. Interested and intrigued and hyped up, even though I had basically almost no idea what the hell was going on. Now, I know how chess works, obviously. Most people do, you know. But it's just that it's been years and years since I've last played or seen a game. Because the earlier stages of the show were heavily focused on building Beth's character, the latter stages were very chess-oriented, focusing on her rise to stardom, which did become kind of less interesting the more I watched, you know, being not that into chess and everything, but I did like the symbolism. Towards the end of the show, Beth was caught up with all the fame, you know, going to the White House for a photo shoot, interviews, and the like. But then we see the stark contrast to that when she decides to take a walk instead to a few old people playing chess outside in the cold weather, to the common folk, to how she was before everything. And yeah, that kind of made up for things. Ultimately, I highly recommend this show. The Queen's Gambit is a very interesting and emotional journey about a girl dealing with addiction and tragedy. But I still think you'll get more out of it if you like chess or have been in a similar situation or relate to anything that happens in this show. I'm going to give The Queen's Gambit a B+. The cinematography, I forgot to mention, was gorgeous, and the outfits, especially the ones that Anya Taylor-Joy wears, man, yeah, we see all sides of her in this show. And Thomas Brodie Sangster, he was a very welcome addition that I wasn't really expecting at all. Like, I was surprised when he entered the stage. He's English, right? He played the part of an American guy pretty well. But he didn't have that cowboy accent that I was expecting him to have, you know, with the outfit that he was rocking. But anyway, that's it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Like and sub if you enjoyed. And as always, feel free to check out any of my previous videos. Until next time.